So here's how I think Christmas and communion are connected. I believe that Jesus' death warrant was pronounced before he was born. A death warrant is the sentence that is imposed upon a criminal that will lead to his execution, pronounced by a judge. Jesus' death warrant was announced by Gabriel before he was born. Let's consider this the beginning of the story. What does Gabriel say to Mary? He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. The Son of the Most High is a very polite and lofty way for a Jewish person to say God. He will be called the Son of the Most High God. That's the proclamation that Gabriel makes. And then, again, Gabriel says the Holy One to be born will be called the Son of God. That is the prophecy about this child. Now, consider Jesus and his ministry and what went on in the middle of the story, the narrative of Christ's biography. Peter, in his great confession about who Jesus is, says, "You're the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus is talking with his disciples, and he's answering a question from the disciple Philip when Jesus says, "Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. And I am in the Father, and the Father is in me." Jesus is bearing testimony to what the angel Gabriel said before he was born. He would be called the Son of God. Now we come to the end of the story. What were the charges brought against Jesus? Not that he worked miracles. Who would condemn someone for feeding 5,000 hungry people, or healing the blind, the lame, and the deaf, or even for raising the dead? No one would condemn him for that. Not that he spoke in parables like the Good Samaritan or the prodigal son. The charge against Jesus, the official charge, was blasphemy. He claimed to be God. Here's the end of the story. Caiaphas is the high priest. He is standing as the head of the Sanhedrin, the supreme court of the Jewish people. And there is a series of questions that are asked of Jesus, and he remains silent until this point. But at this point, in Luke chapter 1, verse 14, verse 61, we read this interchange. The high priest asked him, "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed One?" "I am," said Jesus. The high priest tore his clothes. "You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" They all of the court condemned him as worthy of death. What did Gabriel say? He will be called the Son of the Most High. What accusation did Caiaphas, the high priest, make of Jesus? Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed One? And Jesus answers, "I am." The death warrant was pronounced by Gabriel and confirmed by Caiaphas. So I believe that this table, communion, is Christ's gift to us under his tree. He gives us his life, his body, his blood, that we might live. Will you stand with me?